Alright, it's day 288. I've been watering non-stop lately and filling the watering tray directly. The big plastic white one I have below. Well, it's not actually that big. In retrospect, I should have gotten something bigger, but to maintain a smaller footprint, I got this thing which fits perfectly the base of the pot. So I've siphoned the waste overflow twice, and now the water doesn't look gross anymore. I think the brown disgusting appearance, sort of brownish yellow before, which obviously reminds you of something else. That was just due to the potting mix itself and whatever was dissolvable in all those sphagnum peat moss chunks and wood chips and whatnot, little branch fragments, that would just come out over time, sort of like you're washing out a dye. So I don't know at what stage this thing will flower. In many cases I heard it doesn't flower in the first year, and this is the first year. So I'm sprinkling some Miracle Gro fertilizer, and I think this whole fertilizer burn thing is overblown. As long as you rinse everything off thoroughly with a showering can, you're good to go. Fertilizer burn doesn't occur unless you have a concentrated spot or have potting mix that has a lot of fertilizer in it, and you just have leaves resting directly on it for a while. Okay, so I'm just going to dissolve that and wash away that area on the branch that I touched with some of those blue chemical fertilizer crystals, and then I'll be good to go. The flowering Miracle Gro contains a different macronutrient composition than the regular one, although I think it's also fine to just keep using the vegetative growth one. Although I did have this experience in 2013 with my honeydew vine where I stopped using all the vegetative growth one, and then I flushed out the pot soil a few times with tap water, and then flowers appeared, buds appeared the next day. So I've been filling this tray directly like this almost every day. It's amazing how much water this thing uses. The top layer of soil, which is not much above the water table, that dries out every day. So it's day 289. I would estimate the water usage somewhere between 3 and 5 liters a day. A 5 is a high estimate if it's been thirsty and deprived, and 3 plus, that's the lower estimate if I've been watering every day. So 3.78 liters, that's a gallon of water. That's a very, very high demand. It's rivaling the honeydew vine pot, which had 3 vines back in the day, twisting over this balcony and using it as a trellis. So you're comparing 3 vines to just 1 today, and I got to do this all the time. Well, I don't have to, but it's just for aesthetic reasons. I don't like seeing its own leaves get choked and gnarled like that. See, that's just going to be deformed from now on. There's nothing I can do. If something just bunches up against a wall or rail, then it's going to be somewhat deformed. But despite some deformations, even some leaves in the middle here that were in the not enough fertilizer period earlier in the series, especially in the beginning, that's why this thing took 100 days to germinate, in my opinion. So I moved some pots down. I stained this wooden table. It's just an unstained table I got off Amazon last year, and it's been great, except the wood stain that I use, it somewhat rubs off that reddish color, just with water, so it's somewhat water soluble. It's not completely just organic solvent soluble. So you can see all these tendrils. Yeah, I pluck like maybe 10 whenever I feel like it, which is every day or two, maybe 2 days or 3 days, and then I break them up, rip them up. Sometimes I use scissors, sometimes I just use my fingernails, and I throw them as compost on top, and everything seems to disappear, everything that's been used as compost. So as you can see, there's a lot of new foliage just in the day or two that I'm staining that table, the observation table. The vine immediately just encroaches from many different offshoots, and new offshoots come. It's got a bug, this California goldenrod, which went through a rough patch. It just has to get into everything and try to coil and bug every single plant I have. So just in the meantime, I've moved some of the other plants, low priority ones that don't have much interest, down to the base. They still get some sun, although because this thing has so many leaves, it's starting to block that out. You can see some water spots. San Marcos / San Diego, Southern California, tap water is very hard. So these things are doing well. These 4 seedlings, 2 of them are seedlings, 2 are cuttings. As you can see, the water level is already down to the top of the watering tray of the pot. So I gotta water again. Thanks for watching.